Hello everyone, I am back with another project for you. And this time we will make like very easy and very quick scrapbook layout. And this scrapbook layout will be made like the same way that we used to make like scrapbook pages like years ago. I don't know like you guys if you've been around at that time when like this modern scrapbooking really started and everybody was making like this 12 by 12 pages, and these pages were like you put them in those big albums with that sheet protectors, and you store them in that protectors. So it was like really fun to make those pages, and they were like really big size, like 12 by 12. Mostly I know I made like 12 by 12 pages. I don't know about you, probably like you like they were like 6 by 6 and 8 by 8 inches were popular sizes, but I loved making like 12 by 12 size scrapbooks. And I just decided for all of you that are still into creating that albums, that I will do something different, not just mini albums, but maybe scrapbook page that all of you that are still into that scrapbooking like to make. And for today's project, I used papers that were leftovers from my album that I created a while ago, and that were like that album was called Woolen Friends. So I'm just gonna put a link to that album. All of you that created and followed my tutorial and maybe were left with all these papers, so you can now create and use the papers and some of the embellishments to make this scrapbook layout. Okay, this is the page that we will be making. You can see like lots of papers, different designs, and then here is chipboard element. We will be using all that is left from the album. And for all of you that didn't use these papers and didn't follow my tutorial, you can just use any scraps of papers that you might have at home and follow the tutorial. I will also give you like all the measurements for all the pieces needed and how to place them. So now I invite you to start creating this layout with me. Okay, so all the papers are pre-cut. I already pre-cut all of them, that I don't waste your time, because I know time is so precious these days. And I will just give you measurements of the pieces of papers, and let's start assembling the page. For the page, of course, you don't have to use support. And for the support, I usually use cardstock. Always I use cardstock. Only if I have like my pages in frames, then I would also adhere all the page onto the piece of chipboard. Okay, so for this page now, we will need like piece of cardstock for the support, and this cardstock should be like 12 by 12 inches because we will create like that large scrapbook layout, and just have it at 12 by 12 inches. And then of course you will take this piece of paper or any paper that you like, but okay, this paper will be like the base for the whole page. And this paper should be 11 and 7/8 by 11 and 7/8 of an inch. And for adhering the paper, you can use liquid glue or you can use double-sided tape. I will use double-sided tape because I don't want the page to be all wrinkled. Then like for larger pieces, I suggest you use double-sided tape around the edges, and for smaller pieces you can use like liquid glue. This is just a tip for you. If you don't want your page to be like wrinkled and all like crooked, so just use double-sided tape. And then just remove one strip of tape and just make sure you have like around 1/16 of an inch border around the paper. Okay, next two pieces we will need are these two pieces of paper. Cut first this green paper at 4 by 11 and 5/8 of an inch, and then this paper cut at 3 and 7/8 by 11 and a half inches, and this paper you will adhere on top of the green paper, and of course you will leave like border of green paper around this top paper, and use again double-sided tape. Both of these papers have double-sided tape on the back. So now first you will take a tape from this paper. Alright, so this piece will be adhered like 1 inch from left edge of the page. And then just peel off the tape backing from this green paper, and then you will line top edge of this piece with top edge of the page, and of course 1 inch from left edge. Okay, next piece you will take is this brown paper and cut it at 6.5 by 3 3/4 of an inch, and you will center this piece like 5/8 from top edge, and you will line this left edge of the paper with left edge of this piece here of this green paper. So just make a mark at 5/8 of an inch from top, and that's where you will glue this paper. So this is like smaller piece, I'm just gonna take liquid glue. All right, so next is this piece of paper, and cut it at 11 by 4 inches. And how you will center this paper, you will center the paper like 1/16 of an inch from top and right edge of this brown paper. So here, like from top edge and from right edge, you want to create like a 1/16 of an inch border around this side of this paper. And for this one, I think I will use double-sided tape because it's like a larger piece of paper. Okay, next two pieces you will need to cut a piece of cardstock at 2.5 by 10 inches, and then you will need to cut this piece of paper at 2 3/8 by 9 7/8 of an inch, and of course you will adhere this piece on top of the cardstock piece. And again, I will just take liquid glue. I will use double-sided tape for this piece. Okay, so now this piece will, let's say, we will adhere it on this side, so it's 1/4 of an inch from left edge and top edge of this greenish paper. Next paper you cut at 6 by 8 3/4 of an inch, and then you will adhere this piece like around 3/4 of an inch from top edge and around 5/8 of an inch from left edge of this floral paper. And again, I will use double-sided tape. For now, I will set this page aside because I will create a mat. And for the mat, you will need to cut a few pieces. First piece you will need to cut is pink cardstock or pink paper if you have it from collection. And then you will also need brown cardstock. So first cut this pink cardstock at 9 3/8 by 7 1/8 of an inch, and then this brown cardstock you will need to cut at 9 1/4 by 7 inches, and apply apply tape to the back of both pieces. And this brown cardstock needs to be adhered on top of this pink cardstock. And next pieces you will need to cut two pieces at 9 1/8 by 1/2 inch. This paper's two pieces from the same paper, and one piece will go here on top and the other one on the bottom of the brown cardstock. And then you will also need to cut two pieces of photo mats at 4 by 5 3/4 of an inch and place them on each side of the mat. And then you will also need one piece of paper, the same paper as you have right here, and cut it at 1 by 5 3/4 of an inch. So there you go. All right, and for these pieces I will use liquid glue. So here is photo mat all finished, and now we will adhere the photo mat to the page. Oh, and before I forgot, there is still one piece we need to adhere to the page before we adhere the mat, and this is border. So just cut out the border, and then you will adhere this border right here on top of this green paper. And there you go. So you can size it the way you want, to the size you want. So you just adhere it up here, and then of course you will take photo mat, and here it is how you will adhere it. And then you will take a chipboard element. So I will choose this element right here, and then I'm gonna place this element here on top section. You can take any chipboard element you want, or you can take sticker or image or whatever you like. I'm just gonna take this chipboard element because these are leftovers from my album that I created like a while ago. And you can also check the video of that album if you want to. Okay, so now first let's adhere this mat down, and I will just maybe place it around 3/8 of an inch from here right edge of this paper here, and maybe 1/2 inch from bottom edge of this greenish paper with these animals on it. And that's how I'm gonna do it. Yeah, okay. And now this chipboard piece, what I will do here, I will not put this layout into the album. I will just have it displayed somewhere. So now I can afford to make my page a little bit 3D looking. But here what I will do, I will take a piece of chipboard. Okay, I'm just gonna place this piece of chipboard right here on the top section, and here, there you go. And then one more tape on top of the chipboard. And our page is finished. I hope you enjoyed making it, and you must admit it was really quick page to make, and I hope you enjoyed making it with me. And until next time, goodbye.